They promise luxury, style, and cutting-edge tech, but what they don't tell you is that by 60,000 miles, these cars are engineered to self-destruct, draining your wallet with every breakdown. The dealership smiles as you drive off the lot, convincing you that this machine was built for years of reliable performance. What they don't mention is that hidden inside are fragile systems, transmissions, electronics, and engines, just waiting for the warranty to expire before failing spectacularly. And here's the real kicker. Some of the most prestigious brands, the ones people dream of owning, are hiding the worst financial traps in the entire industry. Vehicles that seem flawless in the first few years suddenly transform into money pits, with repair bills that can cost more than the car itself. This isn't bad luck, it's by design. And unless you know which models to avoid, you could be staring at a repair bill bigger than your monthly mortgage. The Range Rover Evoque looks like success on wheels. Sleek styling, luxury interiors, and that coveted badge make it one of the most desirable compact SUVs on the market. But the truth hiding under its polished frame is a nightmare most owners never see coming. What appears to be a symbol of prestige quickly reveals itself as one of the most unreliable vehicles on the road, with problems that hit harder and cost more than most families can absorb. The biggest culprit is the transmission, which technicians have nicknamed the Annihilator. Failures often strike before 70,000 miles, leaving drivers stranded and staring down repair bills averaging over $8,000. And this isn't an isolated issue. The Evoque's intricate electronics create a minefield of breakdowns. Infotainment systems that randomly shut down, suspension systems collapsing without warning, and full wiring harness failures that can leave the car completely unresponsive. Owners report an average of 7 major electronic breakdowns by 80,000 miles, each costing anywhere from $1,200 to $4,500. Real-world stories paint an even darker picture. Take Robert Thompson, who purchased a 2022 Evoque for $49,000. Within 28 months, his car had been to the dealership 11 times for a new transmission, multiple infotainment replacements, air suspension failures, and finally a complete wiring harness overhaul. His out-of-pocket repairs? More than $22,000. He calls it financial annihilation, and he's not alone. Nearly 70% of Evoque owners report catastrophic repairs by 60,000 miles, with average costs exceeding $14,000 by 80,000 miles. It's not bad luck, it's the business model. Land Rover's own leaked service projections suggest major component replacements are expected every 4 to 5 years, almost always after the warranty runs out. In other words, the Evoque isn't a luxury SUV, it's a designer money pit. And shockingly, it's only the beginning. The BMW X5 is marketed as the ultimate driving machine, a blend of German engineering, cutting-edge technology, and prestige that makes owners feel untouchable. For the first few years, that promise holds true. The ride is smooth, the handling precise, and the interior loaded with features that feel like they belong in a concept car. But just as owners start to believe their investment was worth it, the X5 reveals its true nature. Around 60,000 to 70,000 miles, the mask comes off, and what follows is less a driving experience and more a financial disaster waiting to happen. Unlike some vehicles that show early warning signs, the X5 performs flawlessly during its warranty period, lulling owners into a false sense of security. Then, seemingly all at once, systems begin to collapse. Cooling system failures strike more than half of all X5s before 75,000 miles, with repairs running $3,800 to $4,600. But the real devastation comes from the domino effect. A failed cooling system doesn't just stop there. It often cooks the engine, forcing replacements that cost an additional $8,500 to $12,000. Owners who thought they had time to prepare suddenly face bills that rival the price of a new car. The electrical system only adds fuel to the fire. Between 60,000 and 100,000 miles, the average X5 racks up more than $6,000 in electrical repairs alone. And internal BMW documents, exposed during a class action lawsuit, paint a grim picture. Engineers themselves projected that nearly half of all X5 components would need replacement before hitting 80,000 miles. It's not just bad luck, it's planned obsolescence disguised as premium performance. For many, the X5 isn't a luxury SUV. It's a ticking financial time bomb that detonates just after the warranty expires. And if you think that's bad, wait until you hear what happens when technology, exclusivity, and repair monopolies collide in the next vehicle on this list. The Tesla Model Y is often praised as the future of driving. Sleek design, lightning-fast acceleration, and the promise of lower maintenance thanks to its all-electric powertrain. For new owners, it feels like a step into tomorrow, with software updates that improve features overnight and the prestige of driving a cutting-edge EV. But beneath the futuristic glow lies a risk most buyers never imagine. The very technology that makes the Model Y so appealing also makes it one of the most financially devastating vehicles once problems begin. The centerpiece of the problem is the high-voltage battery system. Around 12% of Model Y owners experience partial battery module failures by 70,000 miles, and when that happens, the repair isn't just a swap of a single component. Tesla's design prioritizes energy density over serviceability, meaning that when one section goes bad, the entire battery pack often has to be replaced. The price, anywhere from $5,800 to $12,000, depending on the extent of the damage. Add to that the air suspension system, which fails in nearly 30% of vehicles by 80,000 miles, and you're staring at another $3,400 on average. But the financial pain doesn't stop there. Tesla's repair ecosystem is notoriously restrictive. Independent mechanics are shut out, parts are locked behind company walls, and service centers are often booked weeks in advance. That creates a monopoly where even minor electrical failures can result in staggering bills, averaging 35% higher than comparable luxury vehicles. Some owners report being stranded for weeks, paying thousands in rental cars while waiting for a simple fix. The promise of cutting-edge efficiency quickly turns into a furnace that burns through your bank account faster than the battery burns through a charge. And as bad as that sounds, the next vehicle on our list proves that even traditional luxury brands have perfected their own version of financial sabotage. The Mercedes-Benz GLE is a masterclass in deception. From the outside, it's flawless, bold styling, an elegant interior, and driving dynamics that seem to justify its premium price tag. For the first 40,000 miles, it's everything a luxury SUV should be: smooth, powerful, and reliable. But that calm doesn't last. Around the 50,000-mile mark, a hidden self-destruct sequence begins to play out, leaving owners blindsided by one catastrophic repair after another. The GLE's air suspension is the first to crumble. Nearly 40% of owners face complete suspension failure by 70,000 miles, with repair bills ranging from $4,800 to $6,200. The system was designed for performance, not durability. Its high-pressure air struts practically guarantee early failure, and because the electronics are tightly integrated, even minor leaks often require a full replacement instead of a simple fix. Just when owners recover from that blow, the transmission begins to slip, and the cutting-edge MBUX infotainment system crashes. Without warning, what should be isolated issues quickly stack into a nightmare of simultaneous failures, each costing thousands. The financial wreckage is staggering. Owners like Robert Chen, who spent over $13,000 in a single year on suspension, transmission, and infotainment repairs, know firsthand how quickly the GLE turns from dream to disaster. Internal Mercedes training materials confirm what many have suspected. The company expects major component replacements roughly every 25,000 miles after the 50,000-mile mark. In other words, the GLE is designed to bleed owners dry once the warranty runs out, locking them into a cycle of endless, expensive repairs. And if you think German engineering has cornered the market on heartbreak, wait until you see what happens when Swedish safety and luxury collide with mechanical fragility. The Volvo XC90 is one of the most deceptive vehicles on this list because it lures you in with genuine brilliance. It's gorgeous to look at, packed with safety innovations, and delivers a driving experience that feels calm and refined. Owners fall in love with it almost instantly, giving the XC90 some of the highest satisfaction scores in its class during the first few years. But once the odometer creeps past 50,000 miles, the dream collapses. What begins as a family-friendly luxury SUV transforms into one of the most financially punishing vehicles you can own. The XC90's Achilles heel is its T8 hybrid powertrain. On paper, it's a marvel of modern engineering, blending electric and combustion systems seamlessly. In reality, that complexity is a ticking bomb. More than a third of T8-equipped XC90s suffer complete hybrid system failure by 70,000 miles, with repairs averaging between $6,800 and $9,200. And because the electric and combustion systems are so tightly intertwined, when one part fails, it often drags multiple others down with it. That means a single issue can balloon into a bill that looks more like a mortgage payment. The heartbreak doesn't stop there. The air suspension, a supposed luxury upgrade, fails in nearly one-third of vehicles by 80,000 miles, costing another $3,800 to $5,200. The infotainment system, while sleek, crashes at alarming rates, with replacements averaging nearly $3,000. Take Sarah Wilson's story. Her hybrid system collapsed at just 68,000 miles, initially quoted at $7,400. By the time additional hidden damage was discovered, her final bill was $11,200, almost 20% of what she paid for the SUV brand new. For many families, the XC90 isn't just a car, it's a financial trap that strikes hardest once the warranty disappears. And if Volvo's heartbreak wasn't bad enough, the next SUV takes German precision and turns it into a catastrophic liability. The Audi Q7 is often praised as the perfect blend of performance, technology, and luxury. With its powerful engines, sharp handling, and refined interior, it seems like the ultimate family hauler for those who want it all. But beneath the surface, the Q7 hides a dangerous truth. Its engineering philosophy delivers thrilling performance, yes, but at the cost of long-term durability. And for owners who keep their vehicles past the warranty, that trade-off can quickly spiral into financial devastation. The most notorious weak spot is its 3.0L turbocharged engine. Roughly 30% of Q7s experience major engine failures before 80,000 miles, with repair bills ranging from $6,200 to $14,500, depending on the extent of damage. The problem lies in its ultra-tight tolerances and extreme thermal loads. While these design choices create impressive performance, they leave no margin for error. Even a minor oil leak or small cooling issue can cascade into catastrophic damage that totals the engine. One owner described how a minor oil drip turned into complete engine failure within just 2,000 miles, leaving him with a $13,800 repair bill. But the engine is just the beginning. The Q7's air suspension shows a failure rate of over one-third by 75,000 miles, adding another $3,600 to $5,800 in repairs. Transmission issues affect nearly a quarter of owners before 85,000 miles, often requiring $5,000 to $7,800 in fixes. And what makes it worse is Audi's service strategy. Internal dealer guidelines recommend full system replacements instead of targeted repairs in nearly 80% of cases. That means inflated bills designed to maximize profit rather than minimize owner pain. For many, the Q7 isn't a luxury SUV. It's a quattro catastrophe that drains wallets with precision. And if you think German brands have a monopoly on unreliability, the next vehicle shows how even American engineering can disguise disaster under a shiny badge. The Jeep Grand Cherokee L was supposed to mark a turning point for the brand. Bigger, bolder, and loaded with modern features, it promised families the rugged dependability of Jeep with the comfort of a luxury SUV. On paper, it had everything: spacious seating, advanced tech, and off-road credibility that few competitors could match. But in reality, the Grand Cherokee L became one of the most disappointing vehicles in recent memory. Instead of redefining Jeep's reputation, it exposed just how fragile its engineering really is. The biggest problem lies with its 3.6L Pentastar engine. Long considered a workhorse, this version suffers from design compromises that create chronic cooling issues and premature cylinder head failures. Nearly a quarter of owners face major engine repairs before 80,000 miles, with average bills landing between $4,800 and $7,200. And the misery doesn't stop there. The ZF-supplied 8-speed transmission shows an alarming pattern of internal clutch failures, forcing replacements that cost another $4,200 to $6,800. For many families, that means engine and transmission failures striking within months of each other, turning a supposed dream SUV into a nightmare. Real-world stories prove just how devastating this can be. Michael Rodriguez's 2022 Grand Cherokee L began shifting erratically at just 68,000 miles, leading to a $6,200 transmission replacement. 3 months later, the engine developed a severe misfire that demanded $5,400 in repairs. In less than a year, He had spent nearly $12,000 on a vehicle barely out of warranty. To make matters worse, internal guidelines from Stellantis encourage dealers to deny more warranty claims as vehicles approach the end of coverage, leaving owners with bills they expected would be covered. The result is a vehicle that feels like a betrayal, bold promises of strength and reliability, hiding a fragile reality. And if Jeep's failure wasn't enough, the next SUV proves that even Volkswagen, with its German heritage, has built one of the most disposable vehicles in America. The Volkswagen Atlas was designed to be the brand's breakthrough in the American SUV market. Spacious, practical, and loaded with family-friendly features, it seemed to offer everything buyers wanted. German design with everyday usability. During the first few years, it delivers exactly that, giving owners a false sense of confidence that they've made the right choice. But once the odometer passes 60,000 miles, the cracks begin to show. What seemed like a reliable family hauler quickly reveals itself as a disposable machine, engineered to last just long enough to get past the warranty. The most troubling flaw is its 2.0T turbocharged engine. More than 30% of Atlas owners experience major engine problems before 85,000 miles, with repair bills ranging from $5,800 to over $10,000. The issues stem from undersized cooling systems, oil sludge buildup, and a turbocharger that constantly operates at its thermal limits. Even small problems can spiral out of control. One owner described how a timing chain failure at 76,000 miles led to catastrophic internal damage, pushing the repair cost to nearly $12,000, almost a third of the car's original value. For a supposedly affordable German SUV, that kind of repair bill is financial devastation. And the Atlas doesn't stop at engine problems. The DSG dual-clutch transmission shows a failure rate of more than a quarter of vehicles by 80,000 miles, averaging $4,200 to $6,800 in repairs. Electrical issues are just as relentless, with owners spending an average of $3,800 between 60,000 and 100,000 miles to fix problems ranging from sensor failures to complete system shutdowns. Internal Volkswagen documents reveal the company anticipates 35 to 40% of components will need replacement before 90,000 miles, exposing a planned cycle of obsolescence that leaves families footing the bill. For many, the Atlas isn't the reliable family SUV they thought they bought. It's the German disposable. And if you think things can't get worse, the next vehicle proves that even America's most iconic SUV is quietly falling apart. The Ford Explorer is one of America's most recognizable SUVs, a name that carries decades of history and trust for families. It represents practicality, safety, and the comfort of a brand they've known for generations. And at first, it delivers. The Explorer's early miles are smooth, reliable, and problem-free, giving owners every reason to believe they've made a smart purchase. But once the warranty ends, the reality comes crashing down. Between 50,000 and 80,000 miles, the Explorer transforms from a trusted family vehicle into a breakdown machine. The 2.3L EcoBoost engine is its biggest liability. More than a quarter of Explorer owners report major engine problems before 80,000 miles, with repair bills often reaching between $4,200 and $7,800. The turbocharged design runs under extreme heat and stress, leading to premature wear and catastrophic failures. In many cases, metal fragments from a failed turbo contaminate the entire oil system, forcing complete engine replacements. One owner, David Johnson, saw his Explorer suffer a turbo failure at just 64,000 miles, followed by engine contamination that cost him $6,800. 6 months later, his transmission failed too, adding another $4,200 to the bill. In less than a year, his dependable SUV had drained over $11,000 from his wallet. The electrical system adds insult to injury. Ford's Sync infotainment unit fails in nearly 1 out of 5 Explorers before 85,000 miles, costing owners another $1,800 to $2,800 on average. Worse still, internal service bulletins show Ford has long been aware of these patterns. Instead of addressing the design flaws, the company tightened warranty interpretations, pushing responsibility back onto customers. Once the coverage expired, that means thousands of families are left paying out of pocket for issues Ford already documented internally. For many, the Explorer isn't just a breakdown, it's a betrayal. And if you think Ford's missteps are bad, The next SUV on this list proves that even Chevrolet has turned a family-friendly vehicle into a financial nightmare. The Chevrolet Traverse looks like the safest bet on the lot. It's marketed as the ultimate family hauler, roomy, practical, and loaded with enough tech to keep everyone entertained on long trips. For parents, it feels like the perfect blend of affordability and dependability. But hidden beneath that wholesome exterior is one of the most financially devastating SUVs on the road today. By the time the Traverse hits 80,000 miles, many families find themselves drowning in repairs that make this budget-friendly Chevy one of the worst traps you can buy. At the heart of the problem lies its 3.6L V6 engine. Nearly a quarter of Traverse owners face major engine repairs before 85,000 miles, with bills ranging from $4,200 to $6,800. Timing chain failures, cylinder deactivation issues, and oil system breakdowns are all common culprits. Once these problems start, they snowball quickly, leaving families without transportation and facing repair costs they never expected. Add to this the notorious 9-speed automatic transmission, which suffers significant failure in almost 20% of vehicles by 80,000 miles, and you're staring at another $3,600 to $5,400 in costs. What starts as just another repair often escalates into financial chaos. And then there are the electronics. On average, Traverse owners spend nearly $3,000 on electrical issues alone between 60,000 and 100,000 miles. Infotainment blackouts, sensor malfunctions, and wiring harness failures leave drivers stranded in cars that feel half-finished. Even worse, internal GM service guidelines often push for complete assembly replacements instead of targeted fixes, inflating costs by as much as 35% compared to similar SUVs. For many families, the Traverse isn't just an unreliable vehicle, it's a financial ambush disguised as an everyday car. And when you add up the repair bills, towing costs, missed work, and lost resale value, this affordable SUV becomes one of the most expensive mistakes you could ever make. From the Range Rover Evoque to the Chevrolet Traverse, these 10 vehicles expose an uncomfortable truth about the modern auto industry. Reliability is no longer a given. Instead, many of today's most popular SUVs are engineered to dazzle at first, then collapse just after the warranty runs out. It's a business model built not on longevity, but on repeat service, inflated repair bills, and customer dependence on dealer networks. For families and buyers who believe they're investing in long-term security, the financial reality is devastating. What these case studies reveal is a disturbing pattern. Luxury doesn't guarantee durability. In fact, some of the priciest vehicles on the market turn out to be the most fragile, burning through thousands in repairs before they even reach 100,000 miles. Meanwhile, supposedly affordable family SUVs aren't immune either, leaving working families blindsided by bills that can rival mortgage payments. It's not just about parts breaking, it's about a system designed to ensure they will break, locking you into years of costly fixes and premature replacements. The choice, however, is still in your hands. There are brands and models built to last well past 200,000 miles, proving that true reliability is a choice manufacturers make. The question is, will you make the same choice as an informed buyer, or fall into the trap these companies have laid out? Because when it comes to cars, the real price isn't on the sticker, it's in the service bay. And the sooner you know that, the sooner you can protect your wallet from becoming the next casualty of engineered failure.